Oh, we love our furry friends. They're members of our families and we want them to feel loved and we want them to live a long time. When something happens, it can be really scary and our first reaction may be to rush to the vet. We're bringing the vet to you today on Who Wants to Know. Dr. Kelley Gebhardt is a veterinarian at Happy Tails Veterinary Emergency Clinic in Greensboro, and she's here to answer your questions. So the way that you get your questions to our expert for today is by texting them. The number is 336-379-5775. Remember, this is text only, so please don't call. All right, so let's take a look first and foremost, Dr. Gebhardt, about what we should and should not be doing in the summer months with our pets.
Absolutely. So hot weather tips are really important to consider for our pets. The first thing is thinking about when to walk and exercise them and when not to. On warm days, you want to make sure to do it in the early morning or the late evening, not during the hot times of the day. You have to think of if you're out walking in a warm winter coat, that's what our pets are doing with all that hair on their bodies, or even if they're a little overweight, that extra layer of fat acts like insulation, and they can't cool their bodies as easily as we can. So making sure to walk them at those cooler times of day is really important. And there are some dogs that are more sensitive to heat than others. So short-faced breeds, brachycephalic breeds like pugs, bulldogs, those are much more sensitive to heat. Puppies, older dogs, elderly dogs, already said that, overweight dogs, those with thick coats, and dogs with pre-existing heart and lung disease are much more sensitive to heat. So make sure to take special care with them when walking or exercising them in the heat.
So a lot of folks want to bring their dog with them when they're like running errands and this, that, and the other, but they roll their windows down or they crack them and they leave their pet in the car.
Yeah, on those warm days, just leave them at home. There is no way to keep the car cool enough to keep them safe. Even on a 70-degree day, if they're in direct sun, temperatures can reach to fatal levels for dogs in the cars. So temperatures can get up to fatal levels within minutes during the summer. So just leave the dogs at home. Even if you crack the window, it's not enough.
Okay, and you do something called the hand test when it comes to asphalt or when it comes to the car seats.
Yeah, absolutely. Something to think about is that we don't think about often. We're wearing shoes when we're walking on the asphalt. We have to think how hot these surfaces are getting during the summer, whether it's asphalt, our decks, the hot car seats that they sit on with their little paws. The most important thing is if you can sit the back of your hand flat on that surface for 7 seconds, then it is cool enough for them to walk on. But if you can't do that, it's too hot for them. So that's kind of your how hot is it test for your pets.
The how hot is it test. All right, how about some hydration do's and don'ts? Because we know we have to keep ourselves hydrated, same thing with the pets.
Absolutely. Make sure to have access to fresh, cool water for your pets, both indoors and outdoor pets at all times. And make sure to avoid communal water bowls, like the ones at the dog park or the ones on the greenway, because when you don't know how fresh the water is, you can get infectious diseases. The dogs can get infectious diseases, either spread from other dogs or rodents that can spread leptospirosis. So just avoid communal water bowls. Take your own collapsible water bowl or a little bottle of water for your pets.
Okay, that is good to know. I would not have thought about that. All right, and how about talking about keeping the pets inside when it comes to rolling down the window, letting the dog hang outside the window when you're driving? Because I know my Kona, she likes this.
It's so fun for them, right? Everybody loves it. Before I was a vet, I used to let my dogs do it. And then I became a vet and I realized it was a really bad idea because they can suffer eye injuries from flying debris, ear injuries when their little ears flap in the wind. They can get ear trauma from that. Also, if they're not restrained, they can fly out the windows and suffer really serious trauma or even death from sudden stops or collisions. So unfortunately, they love it. We love to let them do it, but it's not safe. So we have to keep them properly restrained in the cars.
So I do have a restraint for Kona, so it's like a wire. And if I'm driving less than 30 miles an hour, I still should not let her head hang out the window.
No, because just think about it, how quickly something can hit them in the eye, or if they just weren't restrained, even if she's restrained and her head's out the window, so she's not going to go flying out, she could still suffer an eye injury. And when those ears are flapping, even if it's at 30 miles an hour, I've seen dogs get bilateral ear hematomas from those ears flapping in the wind, right? And that's requires medical care. So
okay, today was the last day she got to do that then. Sorry, Kona.
Yeah, I know, it's so hard. It's so hard.
It is. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about venomous snakes and how to know if your pet has actually been bitten and what you should do when that happens. And then we've got several questions about dog food and also what to do if a dog is afraid of thunder and lightning. So that's coming up next.